Alright, what's up, gamers? We got a new Draft League video today, but not the one we've been used to, not the FDL, but in fact the ENCDL, Eastern North Carolina Draft League. So then, there we got us, Claude Sire PC, or Pokemon Club. I watched a lot of soccer lately, you know. But then all of these are pretty much Eastern North Carolina players. I believe all of them. One of them might. So actually, some of them aren't Eastern. So they're pretty much all North Carolina players, you know. Um, but yeah, so I just want to go over my team real quick because I think the battles are going to be a little faster than VGC. So I just want to go over the team. I don't want to make another separate video for this, so we'll just do it right here. I knew I wanted a Slowking, either this one or Galarian for my first round pick. I was picked 10 out of 16, but we did manage to get one. The other one was actually picked up right before us, so I'm glad we managed to pick this one up when we did. Um, and then the second round we got Masquerada, which I was really expecting to be like one of the drafted before we could even get it, but I was really happy to pick it up in the second round. Um, then after that, pretty much these five were the ones that I knew I wanted, and honestly, six and seven I wanted as well. Um, but Glamora is just really solid. Like it's really good for hazards. It hits really hard. I've always wanted to use it in VGC, honestly, but it's even better in singles. So I'm really happy to be able to pick it up for this league. And then it's a Titan. After I knew I wanted the Slow King. I really wanted one of the Slush Rushers, which is the Titan and Beartic, to pair with it because you can go like Icy Rock, Snow or Chilly Reception, pivot into the Titan, and Titan can set up a belly drum or just like, start attacking right there. And I think it's really good. It's so fast, and once you get the belly drum off it's going to be one shotting push everything. And then the next pick might be a little bit VGC brained. I know that most like in singles you don't really use it for intimidate because the single drop isn't that important, but I like it for that as well as slash fire. Just have a fire immunity, because I don't like uh the Titan really like doesn't appreciate it if I want to be running slush rush. Um, Meowscarada really doesn't appreciate it. Heracross doesn't appreciate it. So just um, having like Flash Fire is really nice as well. Um, and then we got Staraptor. I I don't know. I felt like I was lacking a bit of offense because Meowscarada hits pretty hard, but you kind of also want it to be a set like a hazard setter. Zamora, same thing. So I wanted just a pure offensive Pokemon, and so that's where Staraptor came in. It can be Scarf, it can be Band, it can be. I'm not sure. That's probably what I've been doing with it most of the time. But it can do anything if you really want. Well, not anything, but yeah. And then my what I feel like was one of the sleeper picks of the draft. This was a super cheap mod. It was a points based, not tier based, I guess. This was super cheap. There's only like 5 points, and I think Sableye is super slept on. Um, at least for draft league. It does so much. Like its move pool is so great. You can do screens. It can be really annoying, like disruptor. It's a spin blocker. I think it's really solid. Um, I'm really happy to have it. Then we got Rotom. I um I I'm not a big I'm a big fan of the big fan, but I don't think it's actually that great. But I think it's funny, and I really wanted an electric type, and there weren't a lot of good ones left, anyways. Um, you'll see here is my like Terra captains, so you don't get to Terra any Pokemon. You can only Terra your like Terra captains, so they're called. And mine are Titan and Rotom Fan. I don't really want to go into the details, but basically it couldn't be any like super like expensive Pokemon. Like couldn't be any of these. So I went with those two. Titan more for like a defensive, I think, and then Rotom more for offensive. But and then I picked Ice and Steel. Ice for the offense, Steel because Steel with Levitate really solid. Um, Especially when one of your weaknesses in fighting, you hit for super effective with Air Slash, and they don't really want to come in on you. So yeah, I really like that. The next up we got Doxbun, another feel like sleeper pick. I really wanted a fairy type. I did accidentally snipe this from my friend Trey, aka Glist. Um, so I felt kind of bad about that one. I did not mean to snipe it from him, but I do really like it on the team. I think Stock's a really good mod in singles. I can wish protect. It can just wish honestly. It has body press with a really good defense stat, and it's pretty fast too. Big fan of Doxbun. Then we got the Powdon singles goat. This I remember last in the last gen. At one point, Powdon was like head and shoulders, not head and shoulders, but the most played Pokemon in singles. And I think that was 3v3 singles, so it's a little different, but still, I feel like really good value for it. Especially getting it so late. It was kind of expensive, but after I'd gone on a run of like three pretty cheap mods as well as to Titan, I had some points to afford a more expensive mod later. So that's what I went with Powdon. It's really bulky. It gets hazards. And Sandstream is really annoying for a lot of teams. It means they can't really run Focus Sash as well. Um, and also it pairs, I guess, with my Cloth to make its special defense kind of usable. Not really, but we can dream. Um, and then we got Heracross. Honestly, I thought Heracross was going to be my last pick. Uh, because I wasn't really planning on taking Cloth. I was planning on taking Magneton earlier, but then uh so the stuff with the points got weird. I actually had two less points than I thought. And anyways, I ended up taking Cloth because I had 4 points left over. And he's funny. He's silly. I'm probably not going to use him very often, but he's there. He's another thing for my opponents to have to worry about. Um, I also think it's Regenerator, so Regenerator swapping with Slowking and Cloth could be good. I don't know. I'm not. I'm not looking too much into Cloth, but he's a silly little guy. So there's that. All right, and then we got our week one opponents. Also, this Foretris is not a Foretris for against us. This is a Vigoroth and a Scyther. So three Eviolite mons on this team, for at least as far as we're concerned. So I only expect one of those three to come, if any of them. But yeah, so they got Cinderace, very good mon in VGC, even better in singles because it gets a move called Court Change, which swaps um, the entry hazards and maybe I think screens as well. I'm not sure on that one actually. But yeah, so if we set up a like Stealth Rocks or Toxic Spikes or Spikes, it uses Court Change with and all of those get moved to our side of the field, not where we want to be. Um, so yes, very scary Mon. I definitely expect that to come against us, especially with Gomora. We have like pretty good hazards, actually really good hazards, I would say. So having Cinderace is our first matchup. Not quite where we want to be. But if you'll notice, this team is really physical. In fact, the only like special mons are Magnezone and maybe Mew. But Mew can be either. It needs mixed. Like, or maybe it might not even be offensive at all. Because like I think that's the only um like hazard setter. Because Fretris, like I said, is another team for our against us. Um, they also have Ditto, which that's kind of what like scared me away from using hazards or not hazards setup mon this week. I don't really want to lose to Ditto, but uh, yeah. So let's get into the team. So first up, we got Staraptor. We got Scarfform. This outspeeds the whole team. Um, Initially, I didn't have as much speed investment, and I wasn't outspeeding Weavile. I was only outspeeding Sneasler because I just kind of thought they were the same speed. They are not. Weavile is 5 points faster, and is also faster than Meowscarada, notably, which is why you will not see that on this team. I'm pretty scared of that. Um, I'm kind of expecting uh, these three, or like these four, and then some combination of these three as the last two, and maybe Mudsdale. Um, so I'm definitely expecting Cinderace because I have such good hazards. I'm expecting the Rillaboom, just kind of it's a good mon. It's his second overall pick. It just makes sense in my opinion that he would bring it. It's also all right into my team. I don't think it's like the best, but it's uh it's pretty good. It's been in my first overall pick, Slow King, so that's for my first pick, Slow King. So that would probably be why. Um, yeah. Uh, where is there? Um, I'm not really checking the Toad School. I don't. I think that was just like a meme pick. He had a point left over. Um, but yeah, and then I'm not really expecting Scyther uh or Vigoroth either. Vigoroth could come. It's a neat setup mon, but whenever I have Sableye walls, it's super hard. So I'm not too worried about it. Sableye also does really well with Sneasler, because both of its stabs are either resisted or immune, and I can hit it with Will-O-Wisp. But oh wait, yeah, back to Staraptor. Um, I don't know, he's a big guy. He's strong. He hits hard. Brave Bird just kind of like almost clears, and then for the things that it doesn't clear, close combat clears. Um, yeah, I'm kind of expecting. Um, I don't think he really has a safe switch in for both Brave Bird and close combat. No, he doesn't. All right, so like his only real resist is the Magnezone. If I predict that, then it gets close combated and also dies. All right, next up we got my this is the first set that I built for this week. Um, Really simple EV spread, but that's all it needs to be. Like I said, it's so physical, so I can just invest pretty much entirely into into physical defense, and also I can go Will-O-Wisp to like burn all the physical attackers and cripple them. Um, Encore to stop setup sweepers because if they have like Dragon Dance, Haxorus, if I predict the Dragon Dance, I switch in the Sableye, Encore it. They can't do anything. It's stuck Dragon Dancing. I can Will-O-Wisp it, knock off, just whittle it down every time it breaks free of the encore. I set up another encore. Um, really good. Um, and same goes, I guess, for like Mudsteel if it wants to Iron Defense. Um, and I guess Magnezone, but I'm not expecting that. Um, and oh, it could also work against Sneasler, but like I said, like this is my Sneasler answer basically, right? Because it resists and is immune. Right, then we got Doxpun. This is my one of the best spreads I've ever built, I think. Um, so this is for it's max defense for the body press, but then the 48 attack is also for Sneasler for Psychic Fangs. I expect 224 speed, which is enough to outspeed my max speed to Raptor. And if he does that, he goes like max defense for the rest of it. Like attack and then just puts the rest in defense. This is perfectly enough to always one shot. And if it's any bulk or if it's any frailer, then obviously it'll one shot that as well. Um, I did a bad job of explaining that, but basically Psychic Fang's really good into Sneasler. Um, and we also survive really well. We survive a crit Dire Claw, which is really solid. Um, and then the yawn and roar, just in case they don't have the court change, and we manage to get like some like toxic spikes up. Um, they still just force switches really nicely. Um, and I was thinking about doing Wish, but I really like both of these moves. Um, Especially in like closing out games, Yawn is so nice. If you get into like an end game where like I'm up a little bit, I can just go Yawn. They're forced to like lose momentum by switching, and then just being able to cycle that in and out. It's really nice. This is kind of not my win condition, but my win guaranteer, I guess. Right, then we got Rotom. It's a nasty plot one. It's pretty fast. It's enough to outspeed the Rillaboom because of the jump point. Um, and um, normally we'd have to go max because it's 85. Anyways, uh, it's really fast and at +2 it should always one shot with either Air Slash or Terra Blast Ice. And then the flying is just really solid into his team. 'Cause like I said, the only resist is Magnezone, which is why Staraptor is so good. So having the Air Slash is also really nice. And the Thunderbolt doesn't really hit anything super effective, but it's just nice neutral damage. I guess it hits the Scyther if that comes, but I'm not really expecting it to. Um, I guess everything would hit Scyther on this Pokemon. Um, yeah, it's our only setup mon. I'm not really expecting to sweep or anything. I just want it to like apply it like some pressure. If he wastes their if I call a switch or something, I can set up a nasty plot, and then just immediately have like some serious offensive pressure. And this is my only mon that can Terra, so I figured I'd bring a Terra Captain at least to keep him on his toes. Then we got Arcanine, um, with the boots because I don't. I guess the only thing I can get that can set up for rocks is the Mew, but I really don't want to be taking 25% every time I switch in. Um, and I like the Extreme Speed as a revenge killer. Um, it's this one's a really bulky one with Intimidate because even though it's not as good in singles against such a physical team, being able to just cripple them on, even if just for a turn, that gives me a turn to set up, and they go for the Flare Blitz, which he doesn't have a lot of great resistance to. Actually, one resist in Cinderace, and if you go Cinderace, I can like Flare Blitz into Extreme Speed will kill. Um, so so that's really solid. I'm really happy with this one. Um, and the Psychic Fang's also for the Sneasler. I'm really scared of Sneasler, man. um, and the Morning Sun just to heal up. Again, if I can call it on a switch and get a Morning Sun in there, heal back up, be like back to full. And when I'm so bulky, it's gonna be a lot. It's really hard to chew through. Um, and then last but not least, we got Kimura. We got a spec set this week instead of a hazard setter. Um, and this one is the same speed or, as Rotom, basically just enough to always outspeed Rillaboom. And this is our other Rillaboom answer. And it like, actually is an answer. And also it can hit pretty much everything on the team for at least neutral. I don't think um, is there? Oh, not that. Yeah, pretty sure everything takes at least neutral from either poison or rock or ground. Um, yeah, I don't know. We don't really want to be in against Mudsdale. So if Mudsdale comes, we really need to kill it with either Rotom or cripple it with Sableye first. Because Mudsdale kind of owns my team, like really hard. It's bad. I'm hoping my opponent just doesn't see that and elects not to bring it. Oh, it also gets rocks. I forgot about that. So I guess I have two rock setters. But yeah, anyways. And also, but yes, just for the rocks, and then in case we do get court changed after like setting up the toxic debris on my opponent's side of the field, um, mortal spin just to like get rid of that, and like potentially, and it's not even potentially, it'll poison something as well, which will be pretty nice. But yeah, that's the team. Should be getting into the game pretty soon. But yeah, it'll cut right to that in the video, hopefully. Combat off, but I don't think that kills. Um, hmm. Otherwise, I can go U-turn into Rotom. That seems alright. Yeah, Volt Switch. Oh my god, okay, that's really strong. That's big damage. Ooh. What does he pivot in here now? Um, but I think a close combat will kill though. Uh, honestly, that seemed that U-turn did a lot more damage than I was expecting, honestly. Yep, that makes sense. Um, I kind of want to nasty plot. Let's see if he just sets rocks. Oh, Stone Edge. Okay, neat. Um, well, we're not gonna. I don't like that. So yeah, yeah. That's that's why you don't use Stone Edge, kids. Um, it's probably faster than me, but that's fine. We got the Mudsdale out of the way, so now Glamora is feeling a lot better. Whew. It is fast. Let's just. I feel like the Magnezone comes in here, right? Either way, I think Earth Power is still pretty good. Yes. Okay. Oh, we're so back. A Shucka Berry. It doesn't matter. We're so back. It's so over. Or it's for my opponent. It's so over. Um. Probably a Psychic move coming out. Hydro Pump. Oh, yeesh. That's big damage. Um. That might be Specs, honestly. It is okay. Um. That's crazy. All right. I was not expecting that much damage, to be honest. But I guess that's why we were max physical defense, so it's not all that surprising. But, and that's not quite enough damage. That's not what I wanted. We might have to. Is there anything worth stacking? I guess stock spun's the least valuable at this point. Yeah. Um. God, we just have to hope it misses. I guess. Okay, that's a we got good yawn there. Um. Roar's pretty bad here because we didn't get our rocks up. Maybe if we do this now, if we do go in here. Um. Do we think the sneezer comes in here? I think so. Oh well, let's just fake out. Yeah, that's fine. Well, now I definitely want to switch in Glamora. This is just a free switch, I think. And I don't think there's anything stopping me from just sludge waving. Yeah, Sneasler. Okay, it's Grassy Seep. That makes sense. But now we can just go and intimidate it, and it'll be a lot less effective. Yeah, that is nothing. Um, do you think it switches? I think even if it does, yeah, okay. Yeah, no need to Morning Sun there. We just get a Flare Blitz off, and oh, that's not as much as I was expecting. Um, I think we just stack the. Oh wait, no, we can't really stack Glamora here. I think we'll stack the Dock Spun. Oh, and it Sucker Punched. Neat. I think we just go for another Yawn. Big damage. Uh, yes. Okay, cool. Um, I can switch back into Arcanine here. Doing no damage. And we do know the Cinderaces Sucker Punch. That's pretty neat. I think we just go for Quick Attack. Or Extreme Speed, not Quick Attack. This probably doesn't kill. Okay, wow, that's a lot less than I expected. Um, but we are in a position where we can now just. Okay, I think we can just wrap it up with Brave Bird. This is why Mew is scary. It can do so many different things. That's a dead Cinderace. That crit did not matter. And this is about to be a. Oh, okay. This, I don't know why you have Fake Out. It doesn't really do much in singles. But I think this is gonna be GG. Actually, it's definitely GG. And I would normally switch out here for Disrespect, but I think I just want to preserve the differential because that's how this league is calculated. So yeah, just hit a GG. And yeah, that was pretty. And that wasn't the cleanest play, especially that Specs Mew did some huge damage to, that I was not quite expecting. But we managed to pull through with that one. So yeah, good games to my opponent. But we are moving on to 1-0 in this draft league. Um,